Hi, my name's Charlie. In this class, we're going to look at 9 high-level idioms that work really well in a business setting. Hi, I'm Charlie. Welcome to Organic English. I'm here to help you become more fluent in English. In this session, I'm going to go through 9 idioms that are suitable for the workplace. And by extension, they would also work really well to help you achieve a band 7 and above in your IELTS speaking. I'll put a link to a transcript in the description below. You can download that for free and that'll help you follow along with this lesson. The 9 idioms we're looking at today are long shot, somebody's hands are tied, to learn the ropes, show somebody the ropes, think outside the box, buy the book, cut corners, go the extra mile, and cut someone some slack. Now don't forget, the best way to learn something is to actually use it. So I hope that you will start making your own sentences with these idioms straight away. Go ahead and put some example sentences in the description below. I'll take a look at them and give you some feedback. First, we'll do a quick recap of what idioms are. We'll look at how to use them, and then we'll look at the idioms I mentioned in context to see if we can figure out what they mean. Then we'll define them. So, what are idioms? An idiom is a phrase whose meaning isn't obvious from looking at the individual words. As an example, the English test was a piece of cake. A piece of cake? Of course, that doesn't mean that the English test was literally a physical piece of delicious cake. What do you think that idiom, a piece of cake, means from the context? If I have just come out of the test, I look and sound really happy and I say, the English test was a piece of cake. Was it a difficult test or an easy test? Right, it was easy, very easy. So a piece of cake is an idiom that means something was very easy. Something is very easy. Now, every language has its own idioms and expressions. They're words and phrases that aren't meant to be taken literally, and the meaning often has some cultural background to it. Now, the key to understanding English idioms is never to look at them or read them in a literal sense. The words just don't make sense together. Instead, you need to learn them in context to understand their true meaning. Now, in the case of IELTS, there is no set list of approved idioms and phrases that you need to learn. The marking criteria, the rubric, simply states that to reach a band 7 and higher in the speaking test, you need to be able to use a wider range of vocabulary and to show the examiner that you can use idiomatic language. To quote directly from the rubric, uses some less common and idiomatic vocabulary and shows some awareness of style and collocation. So a few important points to think about first. Idioms are generally pretty informal. And it's okay to use them when we speak and in the IELTS speaking test, but generally you shouldn't use them in IELTS writing. Secondly, in whatever situation you use idioms, in a business setting, in general day-to-day life, and in exams, you need to be able to use the idiom correctly. And lastly, don't overdo it. Just like in your first language, overusing idioms and other colloquialisms will just sound a bit weird and forced. Okay, so let's get into the idioms. The first one, a long shot. Here's the first example. Are you going to apply for the manager's job? I will, but it's a bit of a long shot, isn't it? The deal was a long shot, but Jeff had little to lose. I hope to double my profits, but I know that's a long shot. So what do you think long shot means in this situation? Is a long shot something that's likely or unlikely to succeed, do you think? Right, it's unlikely to succeed. If you describe something as a long shot, you mean that it's unlikely to succeed, but is worth trying. The rewards could be big. Okay, next one. Somebody's hands are tied. First example. I'd like to help you, but my hands are tied. She wanted to raise people's salaries, but her hands were tied. I'd like to help you, but you missed the deadline to hand in your homework. I'm afraid my hands are tied. Okay, so if someone's hands are tied, are they able to do something or unable to do something, do you think? Right, so if you say your hands are tied, you mean that something is stopping you from acting in the way that you want to. You're being prevented from doing something. Next one, to learn the ropes. First example. My father believed that to be successful, you must spend a lot of time learning the ropes. It'll take a few weeks for new employees to learn the ropes. So what do you think's happening here? What are the ropes? What are we trying to learn? So if you're learning the ropes, you're learning how to do a particular job or task. Okay, so we've just looked at learn the ropes. What do you think to show somebody the ropes means? Show somebody the ropes. Let's look at some examples. Lynn spent an afternoon showing the new employees the ropes. Right, so if you show someone the ropes, you show them how to do a particular job or task. Nice work. Next one. Think outside the box. Let's think outside the box for a minute and try to find a better solution. To solve this puzzle, you'll have to think outside the box. So if we think outside the box, are we thinking in the usual kind of way? Or are we being more creative, innovative? If you think outside the box, you're thinking freely, looking for ideas that are original, creative, or innovative. In contrast, our next idiom is by the book. By the book. Here's an example. I don't believe in always going by the book. Sometimes it's better to be flexible according to the situation. My lawyer always goes strictly by the book. She feels she has to go by the book and can't use her creativity. So if you do something by the book, you're doing it exactly according to the rules or the instructions. So kind of the opposite of thinking out of the box. Okay, next one. Cut corners. Cut corners. Here's an example. We could finish this project early, but only if we cut corners. I won't cut corners just to save money. I put quality first. Wow, they really cut corners when they built this bathroom. The shower's leaking. So what do you think to cut corners means? If we cut corners, are we doing something to the highest standards or not? Right. So if we cut corners, we're doing something in the easiest, cheapest, or fastest way. We're not doing a job as thoroughly as we should. Rather than cut corners, I think it's better to go the extra mile. That's our next idiom. Go the extra mile. Let's see it in context. I love that hotel. They go the extra mile to make their guests happy. Susie always goes the extra mile to make my birthday special. He's not a very loyal person. I wouldn't go the extra mile to keep him in our team. So if we go the extra mile, are we making more of an effort or not? Right. So if we go the extra mile, we're making more of an effort than is expected. We're making a special effort to do or achieve something. Sometimes though, it's important to cut someone some slack. This is our last idiom of the day. cut someone some slack. Here it is in context. Andrew's late again. Cut him some slack. His wife just had a baby. The teachers cut us some slack because it was the last day of class. Okay, so if we cut someone some slack, are we being more or less strict with them? Right, we're being less strict with someone. So we're making things slightly easier for someone than normal because there are some special circumstances. Don't forget, put some example sentences in the description below. I'll give you some feedback on those. Don't forget, there's also a link to a transcript in the description below. Download that to keep, and it will help you follow along with this lesson also. As ever, you can go to my website, www.organicenglish.club, where you'll find plenty of other material to help you become more fluent in English. Thank you very much for watching. Now go out and practice your idioms.